is he knows everything, bringing you that heat that far. The biggest lie they've ever told you is that Terence Crawford is the boxer that you guys think that he is. Terence Crawford is such a fraud that Sean Porter is basically disappointing like he knows everything. Sean Porter knows that Terence Crawford is a fraud. He knows he's Bud Fraudford, and that's why he's bullshitting on his training. You see, when Sean Porter was training for Errol Spence, Sean Porter was scared for his life. This man trained for 12 months. He was petrified. He understood who he was fighting. He was fighting the truth because there's no lies in his damn fist. And he fought a 75 to 85% Spence, and Spence still made him bend the proverbial fucking knee in the 11th round. And this was a Sean Porter that was a well-oiled machine, fully trained up. Larry waited the fuck up. Basically, Kenny Porter yelling at him, doing all of this between the ropes. And Spence still made him bend the proverbial fucking knee in the 11th round. And that's a Spence that wasn't even completely training on the level that we know Errol Spence can train on. That is scary. But Terence Crawford, Sean Porter's training at home. See, no one talks about this. No one wants to bring this up because it's not sexy. It's not a beautiful thing. Sean Porter's sitting there and has Kenny Porter silent. I don't know what happened between the both of them. Something happened recently where Sean Porter has put Kenny Porter in a position where Kenny Porter is absolutely quiet. He's not saying anything. And then we got Larry Wade. When did Larry Wade become the mouthpiece of the Porters? Let me say it again. When did Larry Wade become the mouthpiece of the Porters? When did he start running his mouth and all of a sudden, whatever he says is absolute law? Larry Wade is a strength and conditioning coach. When he was training for Spence, he wasn't talking. He was doing what a strength and conditioning coach is supposed to do. He was training up. He was strengthening and conditioning Sean Porter. That's why Sean Porter performed at the level that he performed at. Sean Porter performed that way because Sean Porter was scared. He was petrified. If boxing fans are being honest with themselves, Sean Porter trained like his life depended upon it when he fought Errol Spence. But Terence Crawford, training at home, podcasting. See, this is what fight fans don't want to talk about. How is that the same level of training? And he's only been training for 2 fucking months. That's what he's going to train for, the equivalent of 2 months. You honestly think you're going to get the same level of conditioning of a Sean Porter that you got for Errol Spence? It's a things that make you say, It's a things that make you say, Why is He Knows Everything the one to always bring up the elephant in the fucking room? Sean Porter's not taking this fight seriously. He's bullshitting and fuckshitting. When you guys see Spence versus Crawford, you're going to see how Spence washes, double washes, and triple washes Terence Crawford. Because Terence Crawford is a fraud, man. He's a Bud Fraudford. He's a Dud Crawford. Matter of fact, he is Bud Light. Spence looked at Terence Crawford dead in his face and told him, "You too light in the ass. I will straight up stop you." And he didn't say it not 1 time. He didn't say it not 2 times. He said it 3 times dead to his face. So fight fans could sit there and go back and forth and say Terence Crawford to them is skilled and all of this. Well, if you fight John Molina, if you think that's skilled, okay. If you think basically fighting the likes of a Jose Benavidez, one-legged gimp variation is skilled, okay. If you think fighting Mean Machine, who mind you dropped Terence Crawford in the 3rd round, but they say Terence Crawford's never been in trouble. The Jose Benavidez fight, he literally was fighting the guy tooth and nail for 12 rounds. A one-legged gimp, but he's never been in trouble. Jeff Horn, it took him literally the whole fight to knock this guy out, but he's never been in trouble. These are the level of opponents that Terence Crawford has been fighting. Guys that are not even B-level fighters. Guys that are not even C-level fighters. But they tell you Terence Crawford is right up there in the pound-for-pound list. How? Where? His level of opponents are laughable. Kell Brook was a shell of himself. He fought Amir Khan. Glass chin variation. But these are quality opponents. This is what they keep telling you. Whereas Errol Spence fought a Mikey Garcia, who was a number 4 pound-for-pound fighter at that time. He fought Sean Porter, who was scared and petrified of his life and trained for 12 fucking months. He fought Danny Garcia. Do I need to keep on going? He fought Kell Brook when Kell Brook was Special K Kell Brook. The same Kell Brook that tried to duck Errol the Truth Spence to basically do an advanced level of ducking so he could fight Triple G. He thought he was really slick. But still, he had more than enough time to get his ass right back in shape and prepared, and the IBF ordered, they mandated that he didn't duck Errol the Truth Spence. He had no choice but to fight him. Spence went and fought him in his background, and we all know he put him on bended knee, boys to men fashion in the 10th fucking round. Errol the Truth Spence is special. Terence Crawford is mediocre. And in their confrontation, it revealed that. Go look at who was the star and who was the fucking groupie. Errol the Truth Spence was a star, and Terence Crawford was the groupie in their confrontation, in their exchange. Who is the most decorated welterweight in the fucking division? So how is Terence Crawford, even after this fight, gonna be the best welterweight? What belt does Sean Porter have? When Errol the Truth Spence fought Sean Porter, he took the WBC belt away from him. Snatched it. It was a strap season. It was a man down and a fucking strap season. So what belt is Terence Crawford going to be taking from Sean Porter? See, this is what fight fans don't ask themselves. They don't ask themselves, why is Terence Crawford fighting Errol the Truth Spence leftovers? Before Sean Porter, who did he fight? Wasn't it Kell Brook? Wasn't Kell Brook a Errol the Truth Spence leftover? Now he's fighting Sean Porter. Another Errol the Truth Spence leftover. So y'all tell me, what is Terence Crawford doing that is special? What is he doing that is going above and beyond? I can't see that. What I see is Terence Crawford doing what Terence Crawford's always done. Being a Bud Crawford. Being a Dud Crawford. And being a mediocre fighter. I can't wait when Spence gets his unanimous decision on Dennis Ugas. I'm gonna respect Dennis Ugas that much because he has that Cuban background pedigree and he can box his life off. But after that fight, when Spence fights Crawford, what you guys are going to see is Hagler versus Hearns 2.0. Let me say it again. Hagler versus Hearns 2.0. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, Spence, if he's on his shit, Terence Crawford's getting knocked the fuck out. And if Spence comes in that fight bullshit, 9-3, 8-4 at worst. And if that's not the cold-hearted, that's not the unadulterated, that's not the cutthroat true teller fashion, then I don't know what it is. I keeps the foot on the what on the yeeks. I keeps the foot on the what on the yeeks. This is He Knows Everything. Check it out.
Go ahead, he knows.